Divine Courage Unveiled, 7 miraculous insights into fear and human nature revealed in the Iliad. In the heart of a quaint village enveloped in mist, a devoted mother named Anna knelt before the altar, her heart aflame with fervent prayer. It was a morning like no other, one that echoed with divine promise. As she whispered her worries to the heavens, a voice, crystal clear and surrounded by an ethereal light, pierced through the fog of her fears. Courage awaits, dear child. A miracle is near. The air thickened with a divine presence, wrapping the chapel in warmth as if heaven itself had descended. Days later, Tommy, her beloved son, fell ill. A rare illness gripped his small body, leaving the family in a state of agonizing uncertainty. The news traveled like wildfire, igniting the community's spirit. Villagers flooded the church, their hands clasped in prayer, their hearts knitted together in hope. Yet as Anna held her son's frail hand, doubt clawed at her insides. The physicians spoke of tests, medications, interventions. Would any of it serve, or should she stand fast in her faith for a miracle? A respected pastor proclaimed, "Tommy will rise again." His words reverberated, filling the village with shared expectation. But what about Anna? Optimism turned thick with anxiety as she turned to the Iliad, her sanctuary. "Where the courage of Achilles faced despair," she read, "the heart learned to hope." Each verse breathed life into her spirit, guiding her through a murky sea of doubt. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The weeks crept on, each day stitched together with desperate prayers that drifted towards the heavens like offerings. The family gathered around Tommy's bedside, an orchestra of fear and fervor playing a somber tune. Anna whispered scripture, but the silence in the room felt like a weight on their chests. Each breath was heavy, the night air thick with unanswered dreams. Then came the pivotal night, a community prayer vigil, an ocean of believers. Anna stood before the assembly, hearts pulsating with anticipation. "Fear not, for he is here," she declared, her voice steady against the tide of doubt. Each word wove a tapestry of faith around the gathered souls. Just as hope dimmed, the flicker ignited. A shift, an unfathomable change. Tommy stirred. Gasps filled the air as the room shone brighter than the morning sun breaking over the hills. Their miracle had arrived. Joy surged through them, yet uncertainty followed in its wake. Was this truly divine intervention, or merely a twist of fate? As they rejoiced, lingering questions hung above their heads, veiling the atmosphere in uncertainty. The village embraced a newfound commitment to prayer. But for Anna, the battle had just begun. She had touched the divine, yet the shadows of doubt still loomed. With dawn illuminating the hills, she stood at the threshold of faith and fear, pondering the meaning of this miracle. The gentle whispering of the Spirit urged her forward, a gentle guide into the breathtaking mystery of the new chapters awaiting them. As the golden rays of dawn spilled over the hills, a deep sense of divine wonder filled Anna's heart. She glanced at Tommy, still nestled under the soft covers, a peaceful smile gracing his lips. The miracle of his awakening sparkled like fresh dew on the grass. Yet as Anna tucked a loose strand of hair behind his ear, whispers of uncertainty echoed within her spirit. What did this healing mean for their future? The village awoke in celebration, rejoicing in the miracle they had witnessed. Yet, for Anna, the joy was threaded with a reluctant apprehension. What if this was not the end, but merely a new chapter in a story filled with trials? As she walked through the village, greetings and cheers filled her ears, but her thoughts remained clouded. What next, Lord? she pondered quietly, fear lurking in the corners of her heart. As days turned into weeks, life began to regain its rhythm, yet Anna felt an invisible weight pressing down on her. Encouraged by the villagers, Anna resumed her daily tasks, but her mind wandered often to the Iliad, the sacred text that had fueled her courage. The gods weave the threads of destiny, it spoke, and Anna wondered where her family's threads would lead. One evening, a gentle breeze carried the floral scent of spring into her home. Sitting once more by the altar, her knuckles turning white as they clasped, she prayed fervently, "Guide me, Lord. Help me understand the path before us." The silence that followed was thick, tangible as a warm blanket. Just as despair threatened to seep in, an unexpected sense of peace washed over her, fluttering like whispers of wings around her spirit. In that moment, she realized that doubt needed to be embraced, not shunned. It was part of her journey. Her prayers shifted from desperate requests to open-hearted conversations. "What do you want me to learn through this?" she asked, inviting divine guidance with vulnerability. Days passed and Tommy grew stronger, laughter returning to his voice, lighting up their home. Yet Anna felt a growing urgency to step beyond her fears. One afternoon, she gathered the village together near the old oak tree. It had witnessed the passage of time, storms and sunshine alike, much like their own experiences in faith. "Together, let us not merely seek miracles, but learn to navigate the valleys of uncertainty," she spoke, her voice steady. The crowd nodded, murmurs of agreement flowing through them. Encouraged, Anna continued, "Let us embrace our doubts as part of our faith journey. Just as the seasons change and bring life and death, so too do our trials shape our souls." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue upon them, a palpable shift occurred in the air. They formed a circle, hands clasped tightly, and began to pray for strength to face whatever was to come. It felt as though the oak embraced them, wrapping them in a protective cloak of shared faith. Suddenly, a bird flew down from the tree, landing at Anna's feet. It chirped a melody that resonated deep within her, a call from the heavens. The villagers turned their heads, astonished. In that moment, Anna knew something profound was unfolding. "In this unity, we find strength," she declared, her heart alight. But as she spoke, the bird took to the sky again, disappearing into the twilight, a reminder of the mysteries still unwrapped before them. What lay beyond this moment of unity? As those curious questions swirled around the gathering, Anna felt something awaken within her. The journey was far from over, and another chapter awaited, a chapter where courage would lead them through unknown paths. What truths might the Spirit unveil next? As dawn kissed the village with soft light, Anna's heart beat with anticipation. The bird's departure still lingered in her mind, its chirp vibrating with promise. What wisdom was waiting just beyond their understanding? She gazed at the faces around her, each one reflecting a tapestry of hope and uncertainty. A divine spark flickered within her, a spark that called for exploration, for deeper truths to be uncovered. Days turned into a sacred rhythm of study and reflection. With Tommy's laughter still echoing in their home, Anna felt a gentle nudging to seek answers not just for herself, but for all those who walked alongside her. The Iliad, with its tales of both triumph and trial, beckoned her. She buried herself in its words, seeking divine messages woven through the pages. One afternoon, as Anna sat beneath the ancient oak, she read aloud, "For glory is not the sole pursuit, it is the path lined with trials that shapes the hero." Her voice danced over the syllables, and the villagers began to gather. Curiosity pulled them in, drawn by the resonance of shared stories. "Each of us carries burdens unseen," she told them, reflecting on her own fears. "Just as Achilles faced his fate, we too are called to confront our challenges with courage." A murmur of understanding washed over the crowd, faces lit with recognition. They stood not alone, but as part of a greater story, a community shaped by trials, just as the heroes of old. As the sun arched high, Anna invited them to share their stories. One by one, voices emerged, speaking of hardships, joys, and the lessons learned through valleys of despair. Thomas, an elder in the village, stood and recounted his struggle with fear after losing a beloved. "In my sorrow, I found a flicker of hope that God walks with us," he said, tears sparkling in his eyes. Anna felt the weight of their shared experiences, a sacred bond formed through vulnerability and faith. With each story, she witnessed not just their struggles, but the inherent courage igniting in the hearts of her fellow villagers. The threads woven between them shimmered, a constant reminder of their individual journeys resonating in unison. As twilight began to canvas the sky, Anna raised her hands to the heavens. "Together, let us embrace the unknown, for it leads us closer to divine wisdom." The villagers echoed her sentiment, voices rising in fervent prayer, hearts swelling with unity. They prayed not just for strength to face personal trials, but for clarity to see the purpose within them. In the depth of that moment, the gentle breeze returned, rustling leaves in a melody of divine orchestration. Anna felt a surge of warmth envelop her, as if the Spirit was weaving through the gathering, blessing their courage. "And now," Anna declared, "let us venture forward together into the mystery of tomorrow." But even as hope filled her heart, a new thought sparked within. What if their journey was not just about enduring, but thriving through the trials? There was still an unknown ahead, a meaning yet to be unveiled. The night loomed with possibilities and perhaps dangers, but it also glimmered with promise. What adventures awaited? Would they rise to meet every challenge as heroes of their own stories? As the first stars pierced the darkening sky, the villagers held on to each other, embracing the uncertainty with newfound zeal. Together, they waited, eyes turned toward the heavens, for the next chapter of divine revelation. What awaited their courage in the strands of fate that God was weaving? Night deepened, wrapping the village in a quilt of quiet. The air shimmered with unspoken possibilities, the stars twinkling like whispers from the heavens. Anna gathered the villagers around in a circle, beckoning them to share in the warmth of intimacy. Each person settled, their hearts still pulsing with the unveiling of hope. As they sat beneath the ancient oak, Anna noticed the moon casting its silver glow, illuminating the faces that had, moments before, been awash with sorrow and uncertainty. Now, a profound energy crackled among them, a collective heartbeat echoing with courage. She smiled gently, feeling the radiance of divine love envelop them all. "Tonight," Anna began, her voice soft yet firm, "let us explore the lessons hidden within our fears. Just as Odysseus faced the trials of the sea, we too encounter storms that test our faith." An elder, Marjorie, broke the silence, her voice trembling with emotion. "But what if the storms overwhelm us?" she asked, her eyes glistening with unspilled tears. "What if our courage falters?" Anna's heart swelled with compassion for Marjorie and for the others who shared her fear. "Ah, my dear sister," she replied, "fear is but a shadow, yet we are called to shine our lights brighter. Remember, even the darkest night will pass. Courage doesn't mean an absence of fear. It means moving forward despite it." Their exchange ignited a flicker of hope. Anna inhaled deeply, grateful for this moment of vulnerability. She felt an inner shift as the villagers began to share their hidden fears. Samuel, a quiet baker, spoke softly. "I fear I'll never live up to the dreams set before me." Another whispered, "My dread is that I'm never enough." One after another they unveiled the masks they wore. Anna listened intently, heart resonating with their burdens. She offered a gentle reminder. Each story of hardship holds the seed of resilience within it. With the flickering torches casting dancing shadows, she recited a line from the Iliad. "For tears are the waters that nurture growth." As they reflected upon this, the collective weight of their struggles transformed. Marjorie smiled through her tears. "If we can face our fears together, then they no longer have power over us." Gentle nods rippled through the circle, a chorus of agreement bubbling forth. Anna paused, savoring this realization. Together they began to understand that the act of sharing was an act of divine communion. In their vulnerability, they discovered binding threads, as if the Spirit wove them closer together. The night unfolded with beautiful revelations. One villager spoke of forgiving themselves for past mistakes. Another shared how embracing their flaws led to new joys. With every confession, fear morphed into gratitude. God's hand was visible, guiding them through the tapestry they were weaving. As dawn neared, a hush enveloped the group. Their breaths synchronized, and in that stillness, Anna raised her arms once more. Remember, we are not alone. Each challenge is ripe with lessons, waiting to unveil something extraordinary. Together, let us walk boldly into what lies ahead. With hearts aflame, they prayed once more, calling upon divine strength. The light of the new day began to seep through the horizon, promising a fresh chapter waiting to be written. But as the first rays touched the ground, Anna felt a tug in her spirit. What if there were greater depths of understanding they had yet to discover? What divine whispers were laden in the winds of dawn? Their journey was only beginning, and beyond the horizon, unseen wonders awaited. As dawn stained the sky with soft hues of pink and gold, Anna felt an energized calm gripping the air. The villagers stirred, the remnants of night retreating from their eyes like shadows fading at the break of day. They were still gathered beneath the old oak, and the tender morning light felt sacred, a reminder of divine promises renewed. Today, Anna declared, her heart racing with anticipation, we step forth, holding tightly to the courage we've found. But remember, a new challenge may soon present itself, one that will test not just our courage, but our faith in one another. Samuel the baker squinted at the horizon, his brows furrowing as he responded, "What if we face something we can't overcome? What if we stumble?" The gentle breeze that rustled the leaves seemed to carry a whisper just for him. Anna smiled gently, knowing this was the moment to delve deeper. Stumbling is part of the journey. Every great story has its struggles. Just as the mighty trees bend in the wind yet stand tall, so too must we learn to endure. Marjorie piped up, emboldened by the collective energy. But how do we lean on each other without feeling burdensome? Her vulnerability softened the hearts around them. Love is the bridge we walk upon, Anna responded, her voice rising with a flare of conviction. It is not burdensome to share our struggles, but rather transformative. When we lean together, we are not weak, but fortified. This community is a tapestry woven together by divine threads of courage, faith, and love. A murmur of agreement swept through the gathering. Anna saw the flicker of hope igniting once again, an enduring flame fueled by shared faith. As the sun journeyed upward, Anna called forth a young girl from the back of the circle. Little Lila, with her big brown eyes, stepped forward hesitantly. "What if we forget? What if the fears come back when we're alone?" she asked, her tiny hands balled up in front of her. Anna knelt down, bringing herself to Lila's level. "My sweet Lila, fear might return, but we won't face it alone. Our stories will remind us of this community we have built. You can always return to this moment, to this circle of love, and find strength." Lila smiled, her expression brightening as Anna continued. "In the same way, God is always here, waiting to catch us when we fall. Just as birds trust the winds to carry them, trust in divine grace to guide you." As Anna spoke, the sky transformed, golden light bathing everything in warmth. It felt as though the heavens were affirming her words. Then in the midst of the rising sun, Anna felt the stirring of something beyond words. She closed her eyes, inhaling deeply, and when she looked up, she saw a vision of vast fields, a landscape that stretched seemingly forever, brimming with blossoms and life. "Can you not see?" Beyond this village, beyond our fears, exist boundless possibilities, she proclaimed, her soul ignited by the image. What if our greatest challenges lead us to the brightest paths? A gentle silence fell over the villagers, hearts poised on the brink of discovery. Then, without warning, a hush rippled through the trees, almost as if nature itself held its breath. Anna sensed the invisible tug of something sacred, an invitation to move deeper into faith. "Are we ready to embrace what lies beyond?" she inquired, her gaze scanning the faces around her. They nodded, each heart beating together, infused with divine anticipation. And so, Anna led them toward the edge of the fields, where the sun kissed the earth with grace. As they advanced, what unexpected marvels awaited in that expanse? With renewed spirit, they took a step forward, feeling the essence of hope lift them as they ventured into the unknown. The earth beneath felt alive, yet a question lingered in the air. What would they find when they reached the horizon? As they stepped into the vast fields, the vibrancy of life surrounded them. Flowers waved in the gentle breeze, each petal shimmering like countless stars beneath a sunlit sky. Anna took in the scene, her heart swelling with a profound sense of wonder. Each inhaled breath felt like an invitation, a promise of what was to come. Suddenly, a chorus of birds erupted from the nearby trees, their songs filling the air with a melody that made everything seem brighter. Lila spun in circles, laughter spilling from her lips like water from a fountain. The joy was contagious, spreading among the villagers as they walked, hand in hand, across the lush landscape. But Anna felt a pulse of unease threading through her elation. As joyful as this moment was, the question lingered like a shadow on her heart. How would they shape their faith when faced with the trials that still lay ahead? "Look around you," she shouted, her voice ringing with conviction over the sound of nature's orchestra. "What we see is not just beauty, it's a symbol of our potential. Every flower here thrives in soil stirred by storms. So too can we flourish in the face of adversity." Marjorie's voice broke through the laughter. "Anna, it's lovely, but what if the storms are too strong? I can still feel the weight of my fears." "Marjorie, every heart carries fears," Anna replied, her gaze steady. "But let them guide you, not define you. We choose how we respond. Remember the bridge of love we spoke of. Each of you is both the builder and the bridge. Together, we can withstand any storm." The villagers nodded, their faces shifting from doubt to determination. It was as if the sun itself blinked brightly above them, lighting their path. As they ventured deeper, they stumbled upon a hidden pond, its surface mirroring the sky with an uncanny clarity. Anna motioned them to pause. "Look at this water, still and clear. Let it reflect our faith. Stillness in the midst of chaos is a divine promise. When life feels overwhelming, we can return here to find peace again." Samuel bent low, peering into the pond. "But what about the ripples? They can distort our view. Can we really see God's design through our struggles?" "Ah, yes," Anna said, her heart warmed by his insight. "Those ripples are our experiences. Each challenge reshapes us a little. They humble us and remind us that we aren't meant to walk this journey alone. Together, we can create a tapestry of strength that honors our struggles." Just then, a low rumble echoed in the distance. The ground trembled beneath their feet, shaking the very air around them. Panic flashed in Lila's eyes as she clung to Anna's hand. "Fear not," Anna called, though she felt her own heart race alongside Lila's. "This can be a chance for us to unite in strength." The rumble intensified, a divine drumbeat urging them to gather close. Each villager stepped closer together, forming a protective circle. With their hearts entwined, Anna could feel a common resolve rising among them. As the tremors subsided, the air grew eerily still. A golden light shimmered above, illuminating a path leading into the woods beyond. "What lies over there?" someone whispered, an echo of both anticipation and fear. "Perhaps we are meant to discover it together," Anna said, her voice filled with hope. "Each step we take is a step toward understanding. The next challenge may reveal something we never expected." With that, they began to tread down the golden path, hearts pounding in unison. What revelation awaited just beyond the trees? Would they come closer to understanding their fears, or would their journey take an entirely unexpected turn? The air was thick with mystery, and one thought echoed in every heart. What was the divine plan awaiting their next steps? As Anna and the villagers followed the golden path, a sense of awe wrapped around them like a warm blanket. Shadows from the trees stretched across their path, yet the shimmering light above seemed to guide their way. Each step forward echoed with both uncertainty and hope, propelling them into the unknown. "Stay together," Anna urged softly, her voice a soothing melody amidst the whispers of the wind. She understood the power of unity, and as they walked hand in hand, a gentle courage began to rise within her heart. The tendrils of fear began to loosen their grip, replaced by a collective spirit that pulsed with the energy of their shared journey. Suddenly, the trees parted to reveal a clearing bathed in the golden light. Tall, shimmering grasses swayed like a sea of gold, and at the center stood an ancient, gnarled tree, its branches reaching for the heavens. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, and a hush fell over the group as if the world held its breath. "Such beauty," Lila whispered, awe evident in her wide eyes. "What do you think it means?" Anna approached the tree, her heart racing. "I believe it holds secrets. Secrets meant for us," she replied, running her fingers along the rough bark. "It has stood against many storms, just like we will." Marjorie stepped forward, her expression filled with wonder. "What kind of secrets do you think? Perhaps messages of strength?" "Or lessons of faith," Samuel added, glancing at the tree, then at Anna. "Do you think we should ask it?" Anna smiled at the thought. "Yes. Let us speak to the tree, each of us sharing our fears. If it has endured so much, maybe it can help us see how to face our own storms." One by one, they gathered around the ancient tree, placing their hands against its sturdy trunk. Each villager took a moment to share their inner fears aloud. Some spoke of loss, others of uncertainty about the future, and a few shared their yearning for peace. With each word, there was a release, as if the tree absorbed their burdens and offered strength in return. Then Anna spoke, her voice resonating with conviction. "Tree of wisdom, we come to you seeking guidance. Show us how we can grow through our storms, just as you have." Silence wrapped around them. Then a gentle rustling of leaves began, and a flicker of light danced upon the branches. The air shimmered, and in that moment, a feeling of warmth enveloped them like a soft breath of encouragement. A voice, deep and resonant, seemed to echo in their hearts. "Fear is but a shadow. Embrace it, for it can be your teacher. Let your journey be marked by love and togetherness. From your challenges, your light shall shine the brightest." Tears filled Anna's eyes as the weight of the message settled within her. We shall not allow fear to define us. We will let love and unity guide our hearts. With renewed determination, the villagers sensed a shift within themselves, emboldened by the ancient tree's wisdom. They felt a persistent connection among them, like roots entwining beneath the earth, unseen yet powerful. But as they turned to leave the clearing, the ground tremored again, a low, foreboding sound that resonated in their chest. The tree whispered through the rustling leaves, "The path ahead may darken, but remember, even shadows serve to reveal the light." Anna's breath hitched, and she exchanged glances with her fellow villagers, their eyes wide with realization. What awaited them beyond this moment? Would they be ready to face the looming shadows? Together, they took a step away from the clearing, hearts pounding with both fear and faith. What lay just ahead? A realization awaited, a lesson to be learned that would test their bonds once more. As the villagers stepped back onto the path, The atmosphere thickened with an expectation that was almost palpable. The sun began to dip lower, casting long shadows that danced eerily across the ground. Anna felt the weight of the tree's message looming over them, a reminder that their journey was not merely physical. "Stay close," she whispered again, her voice slightly trembling. Despite the hope that had ignited within them, uncertainty lingered like a veiled mist. Each step felt heavier as they moved forward, yet the warmth of their shared experience kindled courage within their hearts. Marjorie walked beside Anna, her mind racing. "What do you think those shadows mean?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Anna turned to her, an understanding spark in her eyes. "Maybe they represent our fears, our doubts, but we can't let them cast us in darkness." They paused, looking back at the ancient tree. It seemed to glow in the twilight, a beacon of strength in a world thickening with uncertainty. "Let's remember what it taught us," Samuel suggested, glancing back at the tree with reverence. "If fear is merely a shadow, we can stand firm against it. We can walk in the light together." Encouraged, the villagers resumed their journey. The golden path they had followed began to twist and turn, each corner revealing new wonders, but also new fears lurking just beyond their sight. Suddenly, a chilling sound ripped through the air, an echoing cry that sent a shiver down their spines. Lila clutched Anna's arm, eyes wide. What was that? Anna took a deep breath, the familiar warmth of unity rising once more within her. "We hold strength together. Let's not give in to fear." With hearts pounding, they pressed on. Each with shared glances and silent prayers, they navigated through the thickening shadows that threatened to engulf them. The sun disappeared behind a veil of clouds, and the golden path began to fade into an uncertain gray. As they ventured deeper, a flicker of light caught Anna's attention ahead. It danced and shifted, beckoning them forward. "Did you see that?" she asked, hope blooming anew within her. "Yes. What is it?" Marjorie breathed, excitement and trepidation blending in her voice. "I don't know," Anna replied, "but it feels like something divine is leading us." The light pulsed gently, as if alive, encouraging them to move faster. They quickened their pace, and the flicker became a glow, illuminating a clearing much like the one they had just left behind. But this one felt different. It radiated warmth, inviting, and safe. As they entered the clearing, all fear momentarily vanished. The air tasted sweet, and laughter echoed, resonating like a song across the glade. Ethereal figures danced, their forms shifting like the breeze, whispering secrets of love and acceptance. Anna's heart raced as she realized these figures were manifestations of all their hopes and dreams, each one reflecting the courage they had shared. "Look," she exclaimed, pointing excitedly. "This must be a sign of what we can become." But just as joy filled her heart, the shadows from before began to regroup, creeping toward the light. A familiar chill returned, wrapping around the villagers' legs like vines, pulling them back. "No!" Anna cried, her voice fierce, breaking through the fear. "We must fight back with love." In unison, they clasped hands, their hearts beating as one. "Fear cannot hold us," they declared, their voices rising in strength. "We are warriors of hope." As the shadows recoiled ever so slightly, the light surged higher, illuminating the circle that had formed. But as the darkness dissipated, a new sound emerged, a low rumbling that reverberated under their feet. "What now?" Lila gasped, clutching Anna tighter. Anna looked into her friend's eyes, a determination settling deep within her. "Whatever it is, we will face it together." The ground shook violently, and the flickering light flickered uncertainly. Would they stand united, or would they let the shadows take hold? What awaited them in this mysterious place? The echoes of their courage grew louder, urging them not to relent. One question hung in the air as the trembling intensified. Could their hearts withstand the coming storm? The rumbling beneath them intensified, shaking the very earth as if it were heralding a great revelation. Anna felt the pulse of fear, but it was met by a surge of faith that warmed her spirit. She breathed in deeply, drawing strength from the presence of her friends, whose hands gripped hers tighter, a lifeline of hope amidst the chaos. "Together," she cried, her voice rising above the noise, echoing through the clearing. "Let's stand firm in this storm." Around her, the villagers chanted in response, words of unity cascading like a song. "Together! Together!" Their voices filled the air, mingling with laughter from the radiant figures who danced with abandon, untroubled by the shadows that lurked. Suddenly, from the depths of the rumbling earth, a golden light burst forth, illuminating the clearing with brilliance. It was a light unlike any they had seen, warm, inviting, and powerful. It seemed to draw the shadows closer, not in fear, but in awe. "What is this light?" Samuel gasped, marveling at its glory. Anna's heart swelled with understanding. "It's our faith, our unity. It's shining brighter than the darkness ever could." She looked deeply into the eyes of each villager, a tear escaping down her cheek. "This is what we were meant to find. We are meant to glow with hope." With renewed vigor, the villagers raised their arms toward the light as it enveloped them in a dazzling embrace. It washed over them, pushing back the shadows, scattering them like leaves in the wind. They could feel its warmth seeping into their bones, revitalizing every aspect of their spirit. "Remember why we're here," Lila shouted through the joy. "Each one of us carries the light within us. Fear has no place here." But as the light grew, so too did the rumble. It deepened, transforming into a mighty roar, reverberating through the hollow of their chests. The villagers could feel the ground shaking beneath them, yet it was not the darkness unearthing their fears. It was a call, a divine invitation to explore the unknown. "What must we do?" Marjorie asked, her eyes alight with anticipation and trepidation alike. "Walk deeper into the light," Anna said, emboldened by a spirit of adventure. "We cannot shy away when the light calls us forward." As the villagers moved as one, they stepped into the radiance, feeling the healing energy swirl around them like gentle winds. Each footfall seemed to release laughter, joy, and revelation. The world around them transformed into a breathtaking landscape filled with vibrant colors, fragrant flowers, and the melodies of nature rejoicing in their courage. "This is a glimpse of our home," Samuel said reverently. "This is what faith can manifest when we embrace love over fear." Yet, just as they began to bask in the newfound beauty, a powerful wind swept through the clearing, shifting shapes and bringing an unexpected chill. The laughter of the figures faded, replaced by urgency. "We need to remember our strength," Anna urged, her voice steady against the howling breeze. "Even the fiercest winds cannot extinguish our light." But just then, shadows began to swirl around the edges of the clearing, creeping back with a relentless hunger. The villagers' hearts raced anew, and uncertainty crept in like a thief in the night. "No," Anna said with fervor. "We cannot allow fear to silence our joy." In that crucial moment, the villagers gathered around Anna once more, hearts intertwining, forming a solid circle beneath the weight of the encroaching shadows. "Let faith be our anchor," Anna declared, lifting her voice in a triumphant chant. "Together in courage, we will not stand alone." Their belief surged forth, an unstoppable tide, pushing back against the darkness. But as the shadows lurked half-hidden, the gathering winds whispered promises. What were they truly being called to face? And what lessons awaited them from the depths of the storm? As the ground shivered beneath their feet, one question still echoed. Could they embrace the fullness of divine courage, knowing that their journey was far from over? In the heart of the clearing, with the shadows creeping and the winds roaring, Anna's spirit ignited anew. She felt the pulse of the villagers around her, a solid wall of faith refusing to waver. "Together!" she shouted, her voice slicing through the chaos like a beacon of light. "Join me in declaring our truth." The villagers took a deep breath, their eyes fixed on Anna. "Together," they echoed back, their voices rising in unison. "We are not alone." The shadows hesitated. Mere outlines quivered against the brilliant light that radiated from their circle. Anna sensed a profound opportunity flowing through the air, a defining moment where fear could either conquer or surrender. "This is not the end," she declared fervently. "Our journey has brought us here, to this threshold. But it's time for us to step forward into the promise beyond the storm." With each word, she felt the spirit of courage flood through her, and it reverberated in the hearts of her companions. The shadows, momentarily stung by the rising energy of unity, began to flicker, twisting and contorting as if unsure how to respond. They were watching, anticipating the next move. Anna turned her eyes to the shimmering light, flickering like that ancient tree that had whispered wisdom to them. "Remember who we are. We are courage, we are love, we are the light born from our trials." She raised her arms, drawing the villagers closer. "Let's not just gather here. Let us soar together into this adventure, embrace the lessons the trials have given us." A surge of unity swept through the villagers, and hands clasped in a firm grip strengthened their resolve. It was as if, amongst them, a divine army was assembled, each person glowing with individuality, yet bound by shared faith and purpose. With renewed purpose, they began to step forward into the light, breathing in the hope that surrounded them. The shadows shrank, recoiling from the epiphany blossoming in the hearts of the villagers. Love surged through their circle like an electric current, inspiring bravery that squelched fear beneath its radiant touch. Lila, her spirit ignited by Anna's words, raised her voice high. "We are the champions of our own story." The villagers erupted into a chorus, cries of encouragement and faith shouting into the heavens. With each step, the radiant light expanded, enveloping them entirely, transforming the very air around them. As they pressed deeper into the divine brilliance, the shadows retreated further until they vanished into the distance, chased away by the undeniable strength of their collective faith. The air shimmered with possibility as their courage turned to action, revealing a breathtaking landscape before them. "Look!" Marjorie exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder as she pointed toward the sprawling fields illuminated by glimmers of golden light. "It's beautiful. It's everything we dreamed of." The villagers gasped, realizing they were standing on the threshold of a new beginning. Their surroundings boasted endless fields of wildflowers whose colors danced in rhythm with the gentle breeze. Mountains cradled the horizon, and in the distance they could hear the peaceful flowing of a river, the symbol of life, movement, and new journeys yet to unfold. "This is a glimpse of what awaits us," Anna whispered, her heart swelling with gratitude. "It's not just about the challenges we faced, but the joy and strength we found along the way." Just then, the gentle breeze enveloped them, a caressing presence filled with divine love. Anna took a deep breath, reflecting on the spiritual metamorphosis that had taken place. Each villager had grown in ways they never believed possible. The storms had shaped them into warriors of light, and here they stood, reversing the course of doubt that once shadowed their hearts. "Let us share our light with the world," Anna proclaimed, her voice filled with fervor. "Our journey does not end here, it begins anew. We will face every challenge, every shadow, united in love." Tears glimmered in the eyes of her fellow villagers, and they nodded with fervent agreement, powerful in their resolve. The lessons learned, promises forged, and faith ignited now belonged to each of them and spread like seeds to be sown in the fields of their futures. With hands raised high, they stood together in one glorious circle, a testament of faith shining bright into the vast expanse surrounding them. Anna smiled, warmth and joy flooding through her being as she felt the unmistakable presence of the divine, guiding them forward, promising them that whatever lay ahead, they would rise together. That day, they took the first steps into the horizon and the vast journey ahead, bursting with gratitude for the lessons learned, the fears faced, and the courage unveiled. They knew the journey would hold challenges yet. Amidst it all, they would hold on to one another and the radiant light of faith that was indelibly theirs, forever dancing through the pages of their wondrous story. This was their homecoming, a glorious chorus resonating, "Together we rise." Now, dear friends of faith, let this story be a reminder of the light that resides within you. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories, because you need to subscribe now to stay empowered. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, showing your support to our sacred community. Comment your reactions and testimonies about this ending. Share your journey with us so we can flourish together. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this divine manifestation. Acts of kindness and faith ripple through the universe, so let's spread this message of hope.